Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Adamawa. On the program today, Cross River State Government begins additional 26 megawatt power plant in Tinapa. Enugu State Government moves to reduce housing deficit and rising cost of accommodation in the state. Kano State Government revamps healthcare facilities across states with new equipment. Welcome to the program that brings you news that cuts across the north, south, east and west of Nigeria. Teachers in Adamawa State are kicking against their inclusion in the calls for local government autonomy. Representatives of the Nigerian Union of Teachers from the 21 local government areas of the state took to the streets of Yola, the state capital, and the government house asking to be separated from local government administrations currently seeking autonomy. Their complaint, among other things, is that their salaries, allowances and other welfare packages are not considered under the arrangement, a concern the state government promises to look into.
We want to be placed either under the state government or the federal government. Otherwise, we should be giving back our impact. National Primary Education Commission, where our salaries are deducted directly from the source. At that time, we are not facing problems of promotion. At that time, we are not crying about yearly increment. At that time, we are not talking about salaries not being paid. So we are afraid. The system is shaky, and the future of our children is in danger.
Salary is not an issue. It's your welfare that matters as far as I'm concerned. So we have to see that all your salary has been paid. I've already discussed with the leader. He knows before I travel for the lesson. Once federal government is doing what they're supposed to do, we have to, of course, pay your salaries.
And just weeks to the completion of a 21 megawatt power plant in Calabar, the Cross River State Government has announced plans to commence the construction of a 26 megawatt gas-powered turbine in Tinapa, Calabar. Funded by the Export-Import Bank of India and the state government, the new project, when completed in the next 24 months, is expected to further boost power supply in the state and its environs. Govt. Ben Ayade says the commencement of the additional project is as a result of one of the many MOUs signed during his numerous foreign trips in search of investors.
Cross River State, like any other state in Nigeria, has its share of inadequate power supply, leaving citizens to seek alternative sources. According to the state government, part of the metropolis will soon begin to reap the benefits of its power project located along the Goodluck Jonathan bypass. Knowing the output here may not be sufficient for the state to have uninterrupted electricity supply, a team from India is yet to present a final execution plan for the proposed additional power generation projects for the state. The technical partner, Skipper Seal Group, says the 26 megawatts power plants project will also include the construction of gas pipelines, a pump station, as well as an end-to-end gas distribution networks for domestic use.
We are here to request you to hand over the land physically to us so that we can start the construction immediately. Just the construction of power plant, this is also the construction of gas pipeline behind, the reduction of gas pipeline, the pumping station as well as the distribution network so as to connect end to end and to give you the power within 2 years.
For Govt. Ben Ayade, the project is a dream come true considering his plans to industrialize the state.
Cumulatively, therefore, when you add the 10 megawatts coming from the TTMVA that is being proposed by DG Generation, you will realize that we'll be generating cumulatively about 52 megawatts of electricity within the next 2 years. In the next 1 month or two, we are very certain that we'll be generating 23 megawatts, as it were, so that the people of Cross River State will know that we are giving them 23 megawatts coming out of parliamentary extension and another 26 megawatts coming out of Tinapa.
With the plant set to take off, earth-moving equipment have already been deployed to the proposed sites for the project, and hopefully the project will be completed in 24 months as planned.
Now, staying with infrastructure, barely 24 hours after Channels Television reported the plight of road users on the Eleme-Akpajo Refinery Road, the State Governor, Nyesom Wike, has ordered commencement of work on the road. The governor, who flew in on a chopper to ensure that his orders were being carried out, also visited the Aba-Onyigbo Road in Onyigbo local government area of the state, which is currently a nightmare for road users. In the meantime, the national president of the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Igwe Achese, wants the federal government to solve the problem of the roads permanently.
Those roads in question are federal roads. We expect the action in question that we're taking is against the federal government, not the state. This must be made clear, known to Nigerians. The road itself is an economic road that also has, a lot of impact on the nation's economy. Yes, like you are aware, we already asked construction, work has started on those roads. I want to call them a kind of a stopgap measure, so that transporters, and those who are plighting those roads will have a quick access to their various work environment and also economic activities. In the long run, we want the federal government to move in immediately into those economic roads and fix them, so that tankers, drivers, those who are supplied in those roads, like the trailers, the container tank, movers, and the rest of them, will go ahead to do those needful that is needed to keep the nations going.
In Enugu State, the government says it is set to tackle housing problems facing civil servants and residents. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, during an inspection of a 13 billion naira housing project embarked upon in partnership with a private investor, assures the partners of his commitment to the job. The housing project will accommodate workers that have enrolled in the federal government housing scheme and others who are interested in owning houses.
If you live in Enugu metropolis or know reasonably about the city, you can reckon with housing challenges and the rising cost of rentage. For instance, 2 years ago, it will cost you between 350,000 naira to 400,000 naira for a 2 or 3 bedroom in the areas like Independence Layout, New Haven, and GRA. That has changed. It has risen to 700,000 naira, excluding legal fees, damage control fee, and agency.
You'd like to rent a 2-bedroom flat in Independence Layout or New Haven right now, you'd pay about 650,000 naira for a year. That's 1.3 million. By the time you put in all of these other fees, you'll be getting to something close to 1.6 to 1.7 million naira. What kind of job do you do?
The supposed culprits, the landlords, put the blame at the doorstep of rising building material costs and think government intervention will suffice a great deal.
If you go to the market and price cement or the road, if you see how much they will tell you, to me, I'm afraid you cannot even try to dream of building a house. So a lot needs to be done, and I believe that if you start from the government, there seems to be a way out of this stress.
It's not an issue the state government appear oblivious about. First, in consideration for housing solutions are the state workers. That explains this 13 billion naira ongoing housing project by the state government in partnership with a private entity. By plan and purpose, there will be 200 bungalow units, 490 units of duplex, a water dam, and more. During a sit-down meeting, the governor is told that when the facility is completed, it will generate its own electricity and water at pocket-friendly prices and rates to the users.
I have no doubt that this will be another successful effort at addressing the housing needs of our people. and it further underscores the usefulness of synergy and cooperation.
The Commissioner for Housing is quick to add that the statewide housing challenge is being tackled.
We have a crossroad where tenants and landlords will have an amicable relationship.
A 2-year completion period has been announced for the project, which should signal a change of status for the state workers.
Still ahead on the program, in Yobe State, it's happy seasons for farmers as the government has distributed about 50 million naira worth of animal traction to them.